Hey guys, I'm introducing Ira and his deck of Greed Burn.
Alright, for this deck can only exist in traditional format because the main card you want in this is Morphing Jar. Now, why is Morphing Jar so important? Because with this deck known as Empty Jar, every time Morphing Jar flips, you discard your entire hand to the graveyard, draw 5 cards. You play this deck right, your opponent's not even going to get a turn. Trap cards in this deck will be way too slow. There is ways to survive if you don't get kicked off during turn 1, but it's a very hairy situation at that point. But Morphing Jar is your main card for this. Another card that will help you survive turn 1 but get your ideas going is your Needleworms. Needleworm is a lot slower than Morphing Jar because both of them will still make your opponent draw 5 cards. Needleworm will send 5 cards from your opponent's top of their deck to the graveyard. Morphing Jar will get rid of their hand, make them draw 5 more. Which the whole goal of this is to make sure your opponent runs out of deck. Now, Needleworm is slow compared to Morphing Jar just because you don't get to restock your hand. So, this whole thing is all about thinking about what to play and when to play it. Also, to help defend yourself off, I have I have a whole playset of Swift Scarecrows, but I had to lend the 2 of them off to a buddy who was running in regionals. So, 3 Swift Scarecrow, 3 Battle Fader, absolutely must. Because if there's any time you stall on this, you're wide open, and you need to be able to fix that. These you can discard from direct attack. But that is a very important thing though, is protection. Now, every card in this deck is all about flipping Morphing Jar. So, you're going to need ways to bring it back from the graveyard, such as Darkness Approaches. You discard 2 cards from your hand to select one card on one face-up monster on the field and flip it face down. So, let's keep that in mind. That one will flip things face down. AD Changer. You can banish this guy from the graveyard to take a monster and change its battle position. So if it's face down, you'll be flipping it up. AD Changer cannot flip Morphing Jar face down, so keep that in mind. So this is for flipping up. Book of Eclipse. Absolutely amazing. I cannot stretch this card enough. Book of Eclipse will flip all monsters on the field face down. And then during the end phase, it will flip all your opponent's monsters face up. You get this timed right, your opponent's going to deck out just from this card alone. Keep in mind, Counter Trap spell. If you set this card, you will not be able to activate it until the next turn. Very important to know, because with normal spells, you can set and activate it right after you activate Morphing Jar. That way they're not caught in the whole discard. But keep that in mind. 1 day apiece is going to allow the draw, hand destruction, further the draw. Book of Tayu. This is going to flip Morphing Jar face up. Shallow Grave is going to allow you to bring Morphing Jar back face down. Very important. Book of the Moon, also another card to force your monster face down. So if you look at your ratio here, you have a lot of cards that bring it face down, and very few cards that actually flip it face up. So cycling spells is actually going to be very important for you. Spell Reproduction. You discard 2 spell cards from your hand to the graveyard to select 1 spell card in your graveyard and add to your hand. This will get your engine going a little bit, stretch it out even farther. Magical Stone Excavation. You can discard 2 of any card. Keep in mind, 2 of any card to allow you to bring a spell card back from your graveyard back to your hand. This will allow you to also do the same thing further your engine, and you can get whatever you need for that. You need Upstart Goblins to further the draw. If you're playing a traditional format, throw Pygrade in there. Draw 2 free cards. It's not bad. Feather the Phoenix. Feather the Phoenix will add a card to the top of your deck, so only play this if you got a draw spell in your hand. But this will allow you to grab any of the card that you need, whether it's one of these, or Morphing Jar, put it back on top of your deck. As you see, you need to fish for Morphing Jar or fish for something like this is going to continue. The only thing you ever special summon is Battle Fader, and that's on your opponent's turn, so run Pie Duality. It's really not bad. And then AD Changers, if you end up banishing all of them, put them right back in your graveyard with Burial from a Different Dimension. If you are having a slow time, these guys are present in your deck just for that purpose. At the end of the battle phase, when this card was destroyed by balance into the graveyard, you choose one monster from the deck and put it on top of your deck. As you see, this whole thing it's not an easy deck to play. I will warn you that every move takes a lot of precaution, a lot of thinking. You gotta know when to play different cards at different times, and more importantly, you gotta go for the Morphing Jar. Without Morphing Jar, you're gonna be dead in the water, and you might be able to mill out half your opponent's deck. With Morphing Jar, if you open up Morphing Jar and wait to flip it, the game's yours. You just gotta watch your card count too, because Morphing Jar will make you draw cards too. So, well-placed Needleworm or Book of Eclipse is going to solve that. And that's Empty Jar.